Hello and welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Yalpri Ortega. I'm a parent training coordinator for the Parent Education Network program here at FND. As you know, FND stands for Family Network on Disabilities. And I'm so happy to be here with you today, sharing this space. Today, we are going to talk about all the support, services, and resources that 211 Broward has to offer you. We have a very special guest, and to share all that good stuff, we have, as I said, a special guest, Mrs. Billy Morgan. She is from 211 Broward. Mrs. Morgan is the Senior Director of Community Engagement and Impact at 211 Broward, focusing on improving health related and social needs and advancing equity within the system of care. She is a certified crisis worker and information and referral specialist, as well as a frequent public speaker on mental health and disability related advocacy and awareness. She holds a Master's of Science in Clinical Mental Health Counseling from Nova Southeastern University. And we are super lucky to have her here to show us all what 211 Broward has for us. And welcome, Mrs. Morgan. Thank you for being with us here today. Before we dive into this valuable presentation, let's take a quick look at how FND can support you as parents, specifically parents of children with disabilities. So let me share my screen here. Uh, and let's go and check this really quick. So as you know, FND is a family driven organization, is a 501c3 nonprofit. That means that we don't work for local, state, or federal agencies or schools. We are funded in part by the U.S. Department of Education, the U.S. Department of Health. And because of that, we are able to provide services. They are completely free because of those grants that we receive. We are the statewide parent training and information center and the Family to Family Health Information Center. Now, FND, I'm not sure if you knew about this, but FND was originally founded in 1985, and it was created by a group of parents of children with disabilities who joined together looking for mutual support and resources, and also as a way to advocate for their special children. And it's been over 40 years. We are still here. We are still providing that help and resources to families of children with disabilities. And we say that we are family driven because not only we are here to support families, but FND is unique, as most of our, and I would say, I believe all of our staff member, leadership, administrative staff, we are all either parents of children with disabilities or we ourselves have a disability. So we are in a quite unique position to be able to do this. We have walked the walk and we have talked the talk, as they say. And we are here for you, although we are not attorneys, doctors, mental health professional. We do provide information and resources for you, just like the presentation we are about to share regarding 211 Broward. So we are here for you to provide that information and resources. The FND mission is to strive for the complete integration and equality of persons with disabilities in a society without barriers, and also to serve families of those children with disabilities ages birth through 26. Who have the full range of disabilities as it is described in section 601, 602.3 of IDEA. And just for a quick visual of our programs and our initiatives, these are all the initiatives housed under Family Network on Disabilities. We have Poppin that serves north west of Florida. Then we have PSN, Central and Southwest Florida. And here we are under the PEN program, which is the Parent Education Network. We serve Central and Southeast Florida. Actually, our area goes from Monroe all the way up to Orlando. So if you need anything, or if you know a family who is looking for resources or information, we are here for you. You can reach out. These, as I said, are our programs. You can see our map, and you can call us. You can go on our website, fndusa.org, or you can call us here at 800-825-5736. Again, we are here for you. And now we are going to open the floor to our presenter. Miss Morgan will be coming next. Thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me here, and welcome everybody watching. We're going to learn a lot about 211 Broward and how 211 can help you beyond just this little county that we live in. So we're excited to be able to share that with you, and I'm just happy to have the pleasure to do so. So let me just kick it off then with a quick slideshow from the beginning here. We're going to go through some visuals. I'm a visual person, and we're going to learn about 211 from the top. We're your first call for help. And so my name is Billy again. And what we're going to talk about first is, you know what, self-care is not selfish. And if you're a caregiver out there, if you're a parent out there, it's so important for you to remember, take a moment for yourself. You know, life can be overwhelming. And you're going to learn that 211 is all about addressing those difficult feelings of anxiety. So we have sometimes we have a little visual or a little reminder of mindfulness. So cross your arms over your chest, gently tap your shoulders with your hands. You can look at this, take a moment, take a deep breath, and just let that stress go. So it's just a way to recenter, refocus, and give yourself that moment to center yourself. You deserve it. Okay, thank you for taking time with me. And now we're going to talk about 211. So the things that we're going to talk about, learning about this 3-digit number that you may have never heard about, but I hope you have. And then we're going to understand some of the services that we and our organization provide. And then we're going to become comfortable with how to utilize 211. How do I tap into that? What is this all about? And then I'm going to give you a quick challenge of something that I need you to do, which, spoiler alert, means helping spread the word about this important resource. Okay, so what is 211? Now, you might have heard of 911. I certainly hope so. Everyone knows about 911. We know about 411 for information. Some of you know about 311, which is for government services. They're here to help people during hurricanes down here in South Florida. Any type of government public use need, then that is an important number. Or if you're from up north, a lot of people know 311. Well, 211 is a number for social services. And there's many other 11s. 711 is for our deaf and hard of hearing. So you know, there's a 11 for everyone, but we're going to talk about one of the best ones, okay? So it's a national number. It's in 98% of the nation, if you did not know that. And it's a way to access health and human services. So also Puerto Rico and Canada, you can access this 3-digit number. The idea is simple. The premise is simple. It's one number. Call 211. You're also going to learn about another 3-digit number. So this is a really great visual that I found in the wild, but I thought it was just so perfect to really show you how we offer that support. So we have a comprehensive database. It's continually updated with community resources. We're providing information and referrals and essential things. A lot of our calls are for basic needs. It's tough out there, right? People are needing help with food, light bills, help with rent. Housing is a really tough situation right now in Florida and beyond. So we are handling a lot of calls for those needs. Health care, but on the right-hand side, you can see mental health resources. We help with people trying to access transportation, legal needs, counseling and support groups. It's a number to call when you don't know the number to call, and we're the ones that can kind of help you navigate where to go next. During a disaster, we're there, and I put everything else in there too. I think that's correct. So it's a number to call for that. We have on the other side, you can see there's a number called 988, which is a rather new number, but I wanted to take an opportunity to raise awareness about this call for suicide intervention or mental health needs, because that's just a really important number that everyone needs to know as well. So it just where that intersection is that the whole person cares. So we've got that warm handoff that's happening. So I think this is a beautiful visual, and I wanted to really kind of set the stage for you to understand what we do and how we help. But we do so much more at our 211. We have a unique program, and I just want to talk about that. So some of our services, and not all 211s are this way, but we are 24/7. We never close. We're free, we're confidential, we're anonymous. There's a caveat to that because, we're already talking about mental health. And by the way, our 211 answers the 988 helpline that you just learned about, which is also a three-digit number for help and support. So we're 24/7 to be able to answer these lines. And anonymous, say if we're talking to a parent that might be talking about wanting to harm themselves, harm their child, we are mandated reporters, just like other providers are. So we have to make sure that we protect the community, the family. And so the anonymity is important for us, for you to be able to share and have a space to be able to share that. We just want to make sure that everybody's safe as well. So that anonymous aspect is really important because you're thinking, well, I'm having a hard night and I just want to talk to somebody about, what's on my mind. This is the space for that as well. You're a struggling parent. I'm focusing on parents, but anybody can call 211, and you'll learn that as we go along with this lesson. But we're providing supportive listening. It's a space to be able to just relieve your stress and talk with somebody who kind of is just obviously is going to be non-judgmental, a supportive listener, just providing a somebody to just bend their ear, and we're here for that as well. And we'll also talk about some problem solving. We might, explore, have you thought about, and things like that to be able to get that person to, think about maybe ways to kind of resolve whatever stress they have. But the really important aspect of what we do is that we're not just there to listen. By the way, we have 2 ears and one mouth, so we're there to listen and you could talk to us. So the important aspect of this is the information and referral part. You might have heard I'm an information and referral specialist, and it's a certification that we have on the helpline. And we assess what's going on, and then we can provide you a referral or multiple referrals in the likely sense so that you can find what you need and get connected to what's out there in the community. All right. So crisis intervention is an important part of that. You can see that chain is connected to that confidential, free, anonymous 24/7, because the most important call that we get is that call for a person in crisis. And crisis is different for all of us. A crisis is, in this case, we're there to handle any type of crisis you're experiencing. We're there to be able to support you and help you get to a better frame of mind. And my favorite part of what we do, and the really important aspect of what we do, is advocacy and follow up, because we want to make sure that you get connected to what you need. And when it comes to our families of children with developmental disabilities and other special needs and disabilities in general, other programs and departments that we have for specialists, we actually will ensure and advocate for you as care coordinators. So that advocacy piece is so important for just a caller who just says, I'm having trouble getting through to an organization. Yes, we can help you with that. But sometimes that advocacy comes to at a higher level where we have to, with your permission, call the organization, do what we can to make sure you get connected to them, or help with navigating a system. So that level of advocacy can be extraordinary and really helpful for a parent. So care coordination and peer support services are just the link in that chain when it comes to that advocacy. Many of our counselors have walked the walk. They know that system of care. They know a little bit of what you've been through. We don't say, I know exactly what you're going through, because everybody's experience is different, right? But they can say, that they have some similar experiences or a similar journey as peers. And our care coordinators, many of them also have had experience in doing this type of work, or are walking that walk as well. So care coordinators are going to be highly knowledgeable and provide you an extra layer of in-depth support. So I'm going to talk more about that in a moment. Okay, so that is our services. Well, actually, it's what we do. It's all about what we do. So in the past, you're like, wow, this three-digit number is amazing. And it really is. And it's not just 211. There's a 10-digit number you can call, you can text, you can chat with us. You can find that information at 211.org to find your local 211 if you're not here in Broward. And you're going to get your local 211. You just type in your city or your zip code. So many of these services this is the way it used to be. the person would call an organization and say, I lost my job. We're really facing a lot of that lately. The person can't pay their rent. The person might be having thoughts of suicide, or they need childcare. They don't know where to go. Then on the bottom part here, they say, you're not eligible. That's the wrong number. Or they just hang up, or they get like a busy signal, or they get a wrong number. Somebody goes, what? So they don't do that anymore. An organization, these are all organizations that might be answering, and that might be the response that you might get until we come along. Now we are here to help coordinate. We're going to help you find the help that you need. Look how that was like a chaotic slide, and now look how organized it is. We're going to get you to a behavioral health treatment or a food resource, help with rental assistance. We'll know what's out there and what might have funding, what might have funding restored. We keep all that up to date in our database when it comes to rental assistance. That one's top of mind because we do get a lot of calls of that lately, for housing and help like that. So give us a call. For childcare as well, we are there to be able to provide those referrals. And we're also there for suicide crisis intervention. So we do it all. So we're happy to assist you. So this just streamlines that. These are real counselors at 211, our very handsome counselors, some that work at our other 211s across the nation. We are highly trained. We're not just like, hey, you want to answer calls and talk to people about, their most difficult situations and help them find resources. We make sure they have plenty of training in order to do this kind of work. And we're multilingual. We have empathy. We empower and we advocate. It's so important. The heart is the helpline counselors of this work. And a lot of people ask, let's see, well, how do we keep our doors open? Well, here locally, these are many of our funders and partners, as well as municipalities, individual donors, corporate partners. Children's Services Council is the one that I'm going to be focusing on for the Special Needs Connections Helpline I'll be talking about soon. But these, we are a nonprofit. A lot of people in our community think that we are operate such as funding like 911 would be, but we are a nonprofit. So just remember that, we are just like any other organization you might interact with that we might be referring, because we mostly refer nonprofits in the community in our database. So who calls 211? And you could see it's everybody. Everybody. And so as you're learning about this, as I'm sharing about this resource and how we help, who's calling? Anybody who needs help. But you know what? It looks like a lot of people need help here. And sometimes it's just you don't know where to go, and you might just be calling to find the local library. Okay. Some people I used to interact with in community. I've been at 211 for over 20 years myself. It's a wonderful organization. I'm so proud to represent us. And so what I would get in the community is that, oh, I hope I never have to call 211. I hope I never have to call them. And I'm like, well, I mean, if you ever want to volunteer somewhere, yeah, I like to volunteer somewhere. You could call us for that resource to find your local organization that coordinates volunteering. Remember, 211 is not just for the worst times, it's for the best times too. You want to donate somewhere. You're looking for a place for school uniforms. You're looking for a nonprofit that, that can help with a social recreational that specifies with kids with autism. It's fun stuff too, okay? So just remember that, that we are here for everyone. And we're always open. So, and like I said, you can tap into us not just with a phone call, but you can chat with us and text us too. We're going to learn about that in a moment. Actually, here it is. So, did you know that you might not even known about 211, but now, did you know that you could text your zip code 898-211 or just dial 211, click your local 211 wherever you are in the nation? It'll route you to the nearest one. It's magic. So it's easy, it's convenient, it's right there. And also our 211 has an app. So if everybody's got an app now, and so do we. And so in there is so many great resources. All of our database is there, and it's continually updated by our database team. Our resource team is always updating the information in there, so it's never stale. And so they're dedicated to make sure that all that information is up to date. So just remember, you can tap into us with a phone call and a conversation. You could text us, chat with us. However you're comfortable reaching out to us, we are there and we're happy to help. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about then, let's dive a little deeper. So we're going to talk about some of our specific programs at our 211. And here at 211 Broward, we have behavioral health resources. We have a program called Mission United and My Florida Vet. I'm going to tap into those in a moment, which is for our veterans that serve our country. And teen space, touchline, and caregiver navigation. And on the right, far left is special needs connections. And since we're here today and we're with FND, let's talk about that one first and foremost, because this is really the one that is a comprehensive part of the helpline that's going to really help you a lot. So diving right in, empowerment, advocacy, and hope. I was there from the start for the special needs connections, and I'm so proud to have seen this helpline grow from just the resources that we were able to gather to help our parents who are having trouble navigating the system, to handling tens of thousands of calls from families that just didn't know where to start, and seeing the stories and the journeys of families that have walked this walk, and then being out in the community and talking with a parent not too long ago that saw our special needs connections brochure. It was at an ESE fair. She said, "Oh my gosh, when my little one was when I didn't know where to go, I just got the diagnosis of autism." In this case, she had shared, and she had said, "I didn't know where to go." One of the specialists said to call 211, and I didn't even know that number existed. I called, I spoke with somebody. They told me about support groups and friends. That's where it really starts, is connecting with other parents that are living in that situation, that have so much, maybe have experience, or maybe just are just with alongside you in this journey. If you have a child with a disability, starting with support groups is something that we often lead with. If a parent is just saying, "I just got this diagnosis, I don't know where to start." And then also talking about some therapy options and things, whatever, we go where the parent wants to go. But these are things that you might need to be prepared to explore. About the experience with your IEP. And yes, we swim in a world of acronyms. So it's really important that you have a list of knowledge of all the acronyms, and our counselors will make sure that they meet you where you're at with that as you're just learning. In this journey that this parent was telling me, she's like, now he's 19, he's in college, but I had a surprise baby, and he's 6, and he's having some developmental concerns. Do you think I need to call again? And I'm absolutely, give us a call back. And to hear that journey, so we were able to get that family up and running, connected to what they needed, and then down the line, if they're a continual concern or a new concern, we're there to help explore that and see how we can help you. So it was just a beautiful connection that we had, and such a moment of appreciation to see that journey of when he was young and now grown. Transition age is really important as well. So when you're transitioning out of high school, where do you go? So we were able to explore, just in the moment that I had with her, some options for transition related resources, which our specialists are the ones to really link you up to and talk with them about that. And they're going to walk you through that. So what do we do over there at the Special Needs Connection? It is 24 hours. It's free, confidential, and they're supporting families from birth to 22 years of age. So you get access to developmental screenings. We'll help you with that. So maybe you're wondering if your child is toe walking, or maybe their movements are a little unique. They may not be speaking yet. We usually get a lot of calls from families saying, he's not talking yet, and the doctor says wait and see. He's a boy. You've heard this before, right? So, if you have a concern, hop to it, because there actually there is access to organizations that you can tap into before the age of 3. You're going to be able to get that. So remember, if you have any developmental concerns, give us a call. We'll walk you through what those important resources are and link you up to really important organizations that are going to help you at low cost, no cost, to make sure that they're on the right track developmentally. If they're playing or they're having some behavioral issues or things like that, give us a call. We're not there to diagnose, but we're there to help you kind of see where the path could lead to maybe an assessment. That's what we do. So don't count on us to say. So if you suspect something, tell us what you might suspect might be going on. And oftentimes a parent might say, I think he might have autism, or I think he might have, some type of developmental disability. I'm not sure. And then we'll talk about where you are in that journey and get you on a track to be able to get some assessments and information and follow up. Not just say, here's a number, have a nice day, right? So connections to specialized providers, physicians, education and follow-up and advocacy. I know for a fact that our 211 and our specialists there are so adept at helping families navigate the system. A parent who had called for she had moved to the area. She had a child with Down syndrome, for example, in this case. And the counselor asked, "Are you familiar with Medicaid waiver, APD?" She was not from the state, so she wasn't really sure what that was. So that counselor was able, through advocacy and support, linking them to the organization and following up and making sure that she stayed on it, was able to get the child, onto the Medicaid waiver system over the phone. We're a phone helpline service, and I think that's pretty extraordinary. And I think I like to toot our horn on that we can actually get things done with the level of advocacy that we do is to that high level, and they really do care. And it's important to note that some of our counselors that are on that line also parents of children with disabilities, so they kind of understand that importance in that level. They may not share that, and that's important, if they're not peers, that we wouldn't share that. But just know that we have lived a lot. We could share, what that journey would be in order to get you connected to what you need. So we find the age appropriate resources for services. And look, it's up to age 22, because 22 is an important age. That's usually when a teen now of 22 is aging out of the school system. And where do you go from there? Think about guardianships, wills, trust, and things like that. We'll have some resources for that, or just kind of get you in that frame of mind to know and be prepared for that. So we've talked about babies, the middle age, and now the adult child, the adult now. I know parents will always say my child, even if he's 30, 50, he's still going to be the child. I can attest to that. So, the 22 years of age, it's really important that we included that age. So, social recreational programs are also important for that, an important part of that for our callers to be able to receive those referrals. So we're there to provide that support. We're helping identify and connect them to the right services, following up. And so we're there for you. And I can tell you, when years pass, a parent will call back and, maybe just need, another resource. Life happens, transitions happen. And so we're there for you as well. So, identifying and connecting to the right services and supports. We're learning about tools and services. We're helping educate you about that, support groups, getting connected to what you need out there. And Children's Services Council is the organization that has really led the way to make sure that this is possible. So kudos to them. So what happens when I mentioned we're over the phone, and I did that intentionally because there's only so much that a person can do over the phone. So we have partnerships with two organizations here locally that will help walk that parent through shoulder to shoulder, literally, so that they can help you with an IEP or help you with the behavioral health need that you have. And our two partners for that intensive case management, after you speak with us, we're going to offer to see if you'd like some more hands-on experience and get them connected to face-to-face. Sometimes we need that higher level of support. So we found great partnerships in our team members at JAFCO. And we have an agreement where we can share that information with your permission with our partners over there at JAFCO. So that handoff is happening, and we'll follow up, make sure that everything's still going smoothly. And that case management aspect is just so important for families. That intensive service ensures that families are linked to those community resources and services. Respite care, you need a break sometimes. Parental support, just attending meetings with the school, they're there for you in a way that, we found is really necessary. So we want to be as well-rounded as possible. And so with that as well, on our behavioral health side, our other partner is Henderson Behavioral Health, and that's a local resource here in South Florida, and we have a partnership with them in the same aspect that we will seamlessly make sure you get connected to their case managers over there for a behavioral health need. So It just really depends on which column you might, be in, but some of our young people might have behavioral health, might be struggling with just, a temporary mental health situation, might be grief or bereavement or loss, you know. We were affected deeply in our community by the Parkland shooting. So, those types of resources are going to be really important for our community to be able to make sure that it's not just a referral or checking up and, and doing what we can over the phone, but having somebody by their side is just really going to make sure that outcome is the optimal outcome to help that person. So, you know, we've even had a situation where there was a parent who was uh, unstably housed. The mom was in just about to lose her home. And it was a very short period of time where she was about to lose her home. She was feeling overwhelmed. After we got her to a frame of mind where we could talk to her about what was going on, we found out that her daughter had a special need, and we were able to get them through the case manager a higher level of advocacy, so that she could get somebody kind of like helping her with the forms and knowing how to navigate. Just having an extra person fighting in your corner, as I say, is just, it's just going to really make all the difference. So we will advocate for you over the phone, and we're there making a difference for young adults. Young people call us as well if they're having any type of behavioral health concern. Believe it or not, they actually do call us. They chat with us. They they message us. We're there to respond. But we do have young people that reach out, and they've heard about 211. It's actually on in our local school. It's on the back of their student IDs to remind you that this is a number that you can call and reach out to. So we're always there. 988 as well to remember for any young person that's just going through a tough time. It doesn't have to be anything intense. It could just be a place to talk. Sometimes the best advice isn't from your peers, okay? So, but we actually have a special line that we can talk to individuals and or parents that are just struggling with not knowing where to go. They might have found something at their in their kid's bedroom and they're not sure what to do. They might just be saying he's hanging out with the wrong crowd. He might be running away, so he's skipping school. He's being, he's acting depressed. I don't know what to do. Give us a call. We can give you either some resources or just be a place to vent. So, it's really important that you know that it's not just our special needs, which I've really highlighted a lot, but for any behavioral health or just any I'm a little worried concern, give us a call. We can at least talk to you about what's going on and kind of help explore possible resources. Speaking of resources, we have already learned about our special needs program, our behavioral health programs, and some of our partners. Okay, and one of our other important resources to know about is that we have services for our veterans. And returning back to civilian life can be challenging. I've talked a little bit about peers. We actually have veterans that have served our country answering the helpline for this particular need. So they have lived experience to be able to connect with them and be able to share that experience with their certification, or able to share their journey, their experience. So it's, you already know 211 is the best kept secret. Let's not keep it a secret anymore. I want you to know that we're here to help. So it's here and helping and supporting our veterans every day. And Broward County, our county, and our South Florida area has one of the highest concentrations of veterans. So really helping spread the word. We support the Mission United helpline. We also have our My Florida Vet. So take a screen grab of this, or just remember 211 helps our veterans as well. So life can be challenging. And it's not just returning to civilian life. It could be reservist. It could be any type of it could be a retiree who is facing a legal matter. If you're a veteran, you need help, give us a call. There's a high probability we can help you and connect with you, or just give you a space to be able to just vent, the life situation and help you problem solve what's going on. So we're here for you. Just remember that. Now, earlier I was talking about the age 22. And when you age out of school, boy, it's kind of scary. You're not quite sure where to go next. And I want to remind you, if you haven't heard about this caregiver navigation program, it's fascinating because it is so what happens, it's almost like you fall off a cliff at 22. So we have this caregiver navigation program, and we have we have specialists that will actually help those for the rest of their lives, the 22 and the 23 and onward. So it fills the gap that was so needed. So if you're a caregiver of an adult that's 23 or older, or anybody, any adult, caregiver of any adult, even 18 or older, so we have this resource as well. So they're going to advocate. They're going to, talk about, those ins and outs like Medicare, Medicaid, and disability, respite care. Please tell me if you don't know what respite care. Look it up. It's another, I feel, underutilized resource that we remind callers' parents is that sometimes you just need a break, you know, and so there is funds available to be able to just go to the grocery store, go to the movies, and take a break where there is a highly trained, qualified caregiver that can come to the home and keep an eye on your child, make sure they're safe while you just run errands while life is lifing, right? So remember, respite care is a really important one. And I know that on the caregiver navigation line, they give and remind families of that. As well, when you think about older adults, the sandwich generation where retirees are sometimes caring for their mothers who have, were in their 80s and 90s. And so, that's an important resource as well for if you are caring for an older adult. You might need home health care. You might need other resources. Okay, so I just wanted to touch on that as well. So remember, support life balance. Self-care is important for you too. Reach out for those resources. And as I round out when I'm talking about our older populations, we have a program here in Broward County called Touchline, where we give a free daily reassurance call to seniors who live alone in Broward. You have to be, this says seniors, you have to be 55 or older, and you'll get a free call. It's a free call. A call from our helpline, and we just check in and say, hey, how you doing? And sometimes, especially our older community members, they we might be the only voice that they hear all day. And it's just a quick check-in. It doesn't have to be every day, but it can be. You can sign up for Touchline through our website, 211-broward.org. And that's going to be in a couple of places here later. But just a reminder, if you know a senior at your church or temple, they might live alone, tell them about Touchline and help spread the word about this really amazing resource that saves lives. If we don't reach them, we reach out to the emergency contacts that the individual has provided to say, hey, they didn't pick up after several attempts. We'll ask them to maybe, if they have a key, go check on them. I assure you there are countless lives we've saved with this service. So Touchline is just another really great resource. And I know we're talking about behavioral health and special needs, but we all know somebody who lives alone that is an older adult. And it's really important that we just, cast a wide net on how we can help and how we're here for you. Well, I saved this one for the end when it comes to our programs. Toward the end of our list of programs is Teen Space. I was mentioning that teens call us. They're frustrated. They're not going to get the best information sometimes from their other peers. So we just want to make sure that they can call us. And there is on our website, teenspace211.org, you can find it there. You can go to our main website and find it as well. But, if there's, issues with social media, with body image, depression, drinking, we're here to talk about whatever it might be that person might be facing. And I had already mentioned this part of it, and it kind of segues into sometimes I'd say a lot of our calls are, older adults who are just trying to figure things out, not sure where to go, feeling really uncertain. So I kind of tucked this one in as the segue, although we do have, and anybody can experience a crisis, right? I want to make sure that you can still dial the 1-800-273-TALK. You might have seen that sign on a billboard or somewhere in your life going about. Now you can just dial 988. So just to really tie a bow on the fact that this suicide crisis lifeline, addictions and things like that, remember, spread the word, 988. It's only been around for a few years now. And the more we can raise awareness about it, just about we'll know about the warning signs of suicide crisis. So you don't have to be an expert in understanding warning signs for suicide crisis. Give us a call. Remember that number's there. And you could just say, I'm not sure what to do. Just like a parent who gets a new diagnosis, I'm not sure what to do. We'll talk to you. will assess the situation. We'll even call if that person is, in crisis. We'll offer to make a call to them with your permission, and you could share that, and really just be able to help those in our community that might be struggling on a very deep level. So we're there for you, and we understand these with our highly trained counselors. And I'll leave on a fun note. Remember this summer, I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but all through into August, we do have a state partnership summer break spot. Hopefully you've heard about this, but it is free nutritious meals for kids and teens 18 and under. There are over 3,500 locations in Florida. You can call us for that information. You could Google summer break spot. You're going to find it and you're going to be amazed at how we don't want any kid going hungry during the summer break. And you could still, just pop in on it. You could still, it's not just like, oh, I didn't join early on in the summer, when school ended. Okay, it doesn't matter. Just remember this, and it's ongoing. Every summer, we've been fortunate enough to have summer break spot. Kids and teens tap into it. You could go over there, and usually it is kind of like where it's, they do have brown bag lunches, but I think a lot of the ones that here in South Florida we experienced is that it is like a hot lunch, where you'll go in. And they actually have activities and things like that too. So check it out. Give us a call. Find your local one. I know that in my experience at 211, I have talked to a parent who she was going without food and she was just making sure her kids ate. And it just happened to be summer break spot was just rolling out. This was many years ago. And I had mentioned, oh, are you familiar with Summer Break Spot, a place to get meals all summer long? And I told her about it, and she was overwhelmed with joy. She's like so happy that she can now have a place for her kids. And it was within walking distance. It was at a middle school because you don't have to be a member of that school or go to that school. It's a middle school. Just she had no transportation. She could walk with them, and we were able at 211 to feed a family. And that's what it's all about, is to make sure that we help as many as we can. So that grab and grow, those free meals, tap into it. I mentioned, how do you know more about 211? You can go to 211.org or 211-Broward.org for our particular website here if you're in Broward. We have sister organizations. We have Palm Beach, we have Miami-Dade, and we do it very similar. We're 24 hours. A lot of the support that we offer is pretty similar here in the South Florida area. But if you're looking at this, from other regions, just remember 211 is here to serve everyone. And our 211 Broward resources are here and local. And I can tell you, just you tap into the database here, you find help. And when you scroll down and you're going to find help here, and I'm not going to click it because it's just a static site, but that is all of the database, everything you need, all in one place. Like I said, you can download the app if you like, or just click Find Help. You could chat with us, contact us, you can chat with us. So just remember, it's all there, it's updated, it's current. How many times have you had a resource and they say go to it, and then the resource no longer has funds, it's expired? We're going to have the most current information, okay? And actually, this is what you do when you click on that Find Help. You could type in autism, or you could type in whatever the need that have, you type in food, whatever it might be, and you could hit search and it'll just open up the door to whatever. You can narrow the search with your zip code. It's completely searchable. Tap into it anytime. It's there for you. We're here for our community. We don't want to stop anybody from accessing help, and that's the important and the beauty of 211. You call, we're there. You could text, you could chat, you could search on your own. We're your first call for help. But remember, the last thing is the challenge. Okay, so we're a nonprofit. I don't think I need to go there. If you'd like to support us, you can. But we do have volunteers that answer our senior touchline. We have corporate partnerships, social enterprise. We have Club 211. But you know what? The challenge for you is that I need you to reach out to our community, tell them about this. This is our community outreach specialist. There's her email. You could reach out to our team member, Dashni. She's going to be the one that will help you coordinate if you're here locally to get resources. If you're a provider watching this, she's going to link you up. She'll be at resource fairs. We're always out there. She's doing presentations as well, and fairs and distributions and training. So we all work as a team, and there's her information. So reach out to her. So that's the challenge. Spread the word. We're on the socials, so you can find us there for food, light bill help, teen issues, special needs, behavioral health, veterans, you name it. We're there to help first responders, whatever it might be. We are there to be able to help you. Give us a call. We're here 24/7. We're here to help. So that's it. I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity and sharing about 211. Let's all get connected. Let's all get help. And you're a part of helping spread the word. That's it.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you. Absolutely. That was so valuable. There were some things that I didn't even know. And now I'm going to download the app and I'm going to start looking for things. Yes, I think it's amazing all the work that you do and all of the services. You wouldn't really think that you have, you can help such a, variety of populations here in Broward County. Now, let me ask you something because you did mention there are some resources and services that sometimes they may be underutilized. You mentioned respite care. Is there another service or resource that maybe families with children of disabilities may use? Is there, it's available, and maybe it's being underutilized?
I think it's just the knowledge of 211 that counselors are going to explore and open up doors. I do feel that respite is one that I feel often gets referred. Aftercare programs, adult day training programs is another one, tapping into that. Being open to the possibility of making sure that you're not limiting your child or realizing that your child is capable of so much more, challenging an IEP and or that making sure that it has is a transition IEP when the age comes around to have that transition. So there's like these little doors that open up when you keep your mind open to be able to tap into those resources. After, like I said, aftercare is a really big one. Summer camps, reminding parents that honestly, those summer camps open up in spring. Jump here in South Florida, jumping on, making that call, getting on that wait list. And you know what? Another one is just APD and med waiver, and reminding to keep an eye out for that letter, which is kind of a nondescript looking letter that you might get in the mail, and it just might look like spam, and it says you're approved. Many of our families
Yes.
are here on waiting lists in order to get access to that care, which is care for the rest of the life for your child, grown adult. And oh, here's the last one. Boy, you opened up a door for me. Is crisis. If you're facing a crisis and you are on the waiting list for APD, just remember, and you might have a lesson about APD and med waiver. I hope explore that as well. The counselors here at
Yes.
211 will explain that. But if there's a crisis happening, a homeless situation, um, just or behavioral health, where it's just at the tipping point where it's not safe. Um, Call us, or just remember APD to reach out here in Florida. And you might be able to utilize a crisis tool and kind of not jump the line, but get get higher priority on that line so that you can get those services. And once they're activated, they won't go away. So once they're activated, they'll be on that off of that list and ready to get the care that they need. And so just reminding, sometimes that's our active listening. That's us talking with that parent, whatever situation they're in, we're going to go with them. And remember, social rec will do wonders. Social recreation activities, fun things are really important for our young people. Tap into those. Meaningful day activities are going to do wonders for the development. So even for me, I like to go out and have a little fun. Let's all go out and make sure that we are socializing with each other. It helps improve our well-being in general. So it's not just for our kids, it's for all of us to remember that.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much, Mrs. Morgan, for everything. It's been very insightful. I hope this presentation has helped you all. You know, you can reach out to 211 Broward. You heard, you have the phone, you have text, you have the app. And remember also there's Family Network on Disabilities. Which I already explained a bit about that. So thank you for being here. If you need anything, we are here for you. 211 Broward is here for you. So make sure to reach
A
out to us.
great resource.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We work collaboratively. And thank you so much for this opportunity. Yes.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing all of that. Thank you. Have
Our
a
pleasure.
wonderful day. Bye.